Coming up today on the House of Destiny broadcast, Doobie is joining me from Jerusalem, and we're talking about everything that's going on the ground there. So first we're going to go into a time of worship, and then make sure you stay tuned for the entire broadcast. You really want to hear what Doobie has to say. Let's go to worship now.
We thank you, Lord, for every promise you've spoken over us. You are with me. What can separate us? You are for me. What can stand against us? Your love, it won't let go. I know it won't. Darkness, shadows have no power over me. Fear is empty. Shame has no authority. Your love, it won't let go. I know it won't, for I know your thoughts, your plans for me are good, and I know you hold my future and my hope, for your promises never fail. Your promises never fail. Oh, healing and freedom as you speak favor over me. Faith is breaking all impossibility. Your name has overcome. Your name alone, for I know your thoughts, your plans for me are good, and I know you hold my future and my hope, because your promises never fail. No, your promises never fail. No, they don't. Your promises never fail. No, your promises never fail. They never fail. No, they never fail. No. Oh, yes. And I am standing on every promise that you make. I will see it come to pass in your name, in your name. In Jesus, I will trust every word I hear you say. I will see it come to pass in your name, in your name. Oh, I am standing on every promise that you make. I will see it come to pass in your name, oh Lord. Jesus, I will trust every word I hear you say. I will see it come to pass in your name, oh, I will see it come to pass in your name, oh, I will see it come to pass in your name, the name of Jesus. For I know your thoughts, your plans for me are good, and I know you hold my future and my hope, 'cause your promises never fail. Your promises never fail. Your promises never fail. Your promises never fail. No, they don't. Your promises never fail. Your promises never fail. No, your promises never fail. Your promises never fail. They never fail. They've never failed me yet. I am standing on the promises of God. They're yes and amen. am standing on every promise that you make. I will see it come to pass in your name, oh, in your name. 'Cause Jesus, I will trust every word I hear you say. I will see it come to pass in your name, in your name. I will see it come to pass in your name, in your name. Oh, I will see it come to pass in your name, in your name. In the name of Jesus.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to House of Destiny. For those of you watching on the main channel on the Wednesday, this is Doobie and I doing an update as we have been doing about Israel being at war. And we've been releasing the show a little early for the Friday viewers for Israel updates. And from next week, we're going to go back to kind of, more of a normal broadcast schedule. But for now, there's still so much going on. So Doobs, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, shalom. Shalom. Welcome, everybody.
So, Doobs, I'm in LA. People are all over the world watching. You're on the ground in Jerusalem. You're in Israel, obviously. And I've seen, I've even had my friends and family texting me, asking me what's going on, saying, hey, can you ask Doobie if this is true? Can you ask Doobie if this is real? And so what I want to put out as a question to you is, what is happening in the north of Israel? Because I've been seeing some things going on about that. What is actually going on in the north? What is actually going on I'll get to it next, but I wanted to speak to you about what's happening in the north regarding Lebanon, what's happening with the Iranian militia, what's happening with the soldiers from the IDF that are actually in Gaza. But let's start about the situation in the north.
So, you know that many people, they think that everything is almost, happening around the southern part of Israel.
Yes.
Where there was this devastating attack that took place on October 7th. And after that, Israel retaliated and started the ground maneuvers and ground assault in the Gaza. But we totally understand that Iran, who's standing behind all these attacks,
Yes.
are literally leading all the confrontation against Israel, and they're using all their proxies in the area. So they're using further down to the south in Yemen, a militia of Yemenite rebels called the Houthis, who's constantly targeting Israel. And just minutes ago, before we started to speak, there was the alarms, the sirens goes off in Eilat, and another ground-to-ground missile, a ballistic missile, came from Yemen towards Eilat, the southern part of Israel. Thank God to the Israeli anti-missile systems, the Arrow 3, who was able to intercept it outside of the atmosphere, which is like really Star Wars, Star Wars, Israeli technology, like the top of the top. And we're able to intercept it over there. So they're using those proxies. And the ones that they're using more than anybody else beside Hamas is Hezbollah up in the north in Lebanon. So they kind of keep their attacks like what we call under the levels of an all-out war. But don't be mistaken, these are serious attacks. Every day between 4 to 6 anti-tank missile attacks, SWATs of Hezbollah are getting closer to the borders of Israel. They expect a target in Israel. If there's some soldiers that are not, really careful, or even 2 days ago, they were killing civilian, a worker of the Israeli National Electricity Company who came to fix an electricity cut off, and the Hamas targeted his car, and they injured 12 people, and they killed this poor man of 56 years old, a civilian. Shocking. They're targeting soldiers. I think from the beginning of the war, 6 Israelis were killed by the Hamas, by the Hezbollah. and Israel is retaliating. Israel is able, with our special forces and with our Air Force, sometimes to detect and find these people even on their way for the attack, and we intercept them. And I think by now we already killed dozens of Hezbollah activists and terrorists. So, but there's a war going also in the north. People are not aware, but over 1,000 Israelis that are living on the borders between Israel and Lebanon, and Israel and the northern fronts of Israel, they have been evacuated from their homes, and they're literally refugees in their own country. And these people had to get away, go from their homes, because their homes are always targeted by rockets, by mortars, by missiles. And this is the terrible situation. And Israel has to address to that, because these people will not go back home if Israel is not going to push the Hezbollah far away from the borders of the north.
Yes, and that's the thing. So much of this isn't being reported on. And Doobie and I were talking a little bit about it, because we text pretty much every day up and down just about life, about what's going on. But Doobs, you were saying to me that the problem, one of the big problems right now too, is that Hamas is now calling for a ceasefire. And I would like you to just tell me a little bit about what that entails. Like, to me, it's pretty obvious that they're asking for a 5-day ceasefire so that they can go in and restock up on their weapons and come back and carry on. Like, it's not rocket science. I'm not a military analyst, but it's pretty obvious to me what's going on. But maybe you can tell me a little bit about that and the pressure that Bibi and the government are under from the various administrations.
So, everybody with eyes in their head, they can see exactly what you're seeing. And this is very clear. This is very clear. But you have to understand that Hamas, they are a terror organization, but it's a very, very smart and aware of the weaknesses of the people of Israel. When they came and attacked Israel on October 7th, it's not only that they have killed and slaughtered over 1,200 Israelis, they kidnapped 239 Israelis.
Yes.
And these people, this is the card, this is their aces that they are using now in order to try and influence the different elements of the war. They're using these people as human shields. Just yesterday, we had a terrible video was released about an Israeli soldier girl, 19 years old, was kidnapped, and we've seen her being taken into Gaza on her feet, 100% healthy. She was kidnapped in there, and then they released a video of her speaking, saying that this is the 4th day after the attack, and she's in the hands of the Hamas, and she spoke, whatever they told her to speak, and obviously they give her the text, and she has to convey the message on their behalf to Israel. A terrible, devastating video. And then after the video, they shown her dead. And they said that Israeli attacks over the terror organization of Hamas killed her. So they're even using these people as human shields. The day before yesterday also, actually, I think yesterday, the Israeli speaker of the military was literally going into Gaza, into a hospital in Gaza, and showing the underground of the hospital as a place where they have been bringing kidnapped hostages and hiding them in the cellars of a hospital. These are war crimes. There's no other word. I mean, there was a bottle of a baby right there. There were rope next to the legs of a chair with a woman's garment right there. And you totally understand that she was tied up to this chair.
Yes.
They put a curtain over a blank wall just to show as if when they're going to record and film the people, as if they are above ground and there's probably a window behind it. As a matter of fact, they are right underneath the hospitals. So the war still takes place, but thank God, as long as we continue and not going to listen to what's happening with these ceasefire demands, that America is backing it up right now, and other international people from the community are telling Israel that a ceasefire will be an opportunity to release hostages. We want the people to know, first and foremost, there's something I must say. I know that a lot of people are saying that one of the most important goals of the war is to release the kidnapped and the hostages. and the other one, of course, to destroy and smash Hamas. I totally agree. But we have to understand and realize what's happening now in Israel with the families of these hostages and other people that are taking them for a ride and trying to use them as some kind of a hammer to knock down the Israeli government and put pressure over the government and all these protests. The only thing it's going to make, it's going to rise up their price. Hamas and the terror people that are now with their backs against the wall, they were willing even to stop for just a little bit of a break. Now they rise up their demands because they know and they understand that the more pressure of civilians in the international community over the Israeli military and the Israeli government will rise up the toll and the price, and they can demand more and more and more. And what these people, that their children are the hostages and the captured ones, what they're doing, they're keeping their children away for longer time because they'll get to a place where the government of Israel cannot pay this price. People don't understand. But 5 days of ceasefire means that the Hamas can get back to square A. They're going to get out, learn where our troops are, realize what's happening. Now they're under a terror. Now they're under a terrible attack by Israel. They can't see really what's happening to them. There's a lot of turmoil all over, but they can regroup, reorganize, get above ground. Then they're going to make a calculation which tunnels gets to what and what group of soldiers, and they're going to wage the war in a way, and they can come behind us and outflank us, and Israel will pay a toll, which be probably much higher than releasing 240 hostages. This is going to cost us the lives of dozens, if not hundreds, of Israeli soldiers right now that has to trust the government of Israel that they'll do anything to keep them alive. So, the pressure that we put upon the Hamas, this is what would bring them to the negotiating table. And in the end of the day, when they'll be in a huge despair, they might use these hostages as maybe a card for them to save their own backside, but not to try kill more of us. People don't understand. We don't have anybody in Israel right now who has the guts and the strength to go in a closed room with those families of the hostages and look in their eyes and say, guys, stop it because you're harming your own cause.
Sure, Doobs. It's such an insightful way to look at it. And obviously it's tragic. You know, everything going on right now with Israel is tragic. The lives that have been lost, it's more than just a war. It's another series of crimes against humanity. It's another series of anti-Semitic attacks. It's another series of watching the world stand back while Israel is under attack and Jewish people are under attack. But it's so insightful what you're saying. And, you know, for everybody out there, there is a little bit of a light in this tunnel. Doobie sent me some pictures yesterday and some videos, and some of the soldiers that we're supporting, a beautiful voice note, which I'm going to play for you in a moment, and a picture of one of these soldiers. He's standing with an Israeli flag on the shores of Gaza. And Doobie got sent this picture, and these are one of Doobie's boys, which means they're one of our boys. Another picture of the Wolves, the unit that you've been supporting inside the Interior Ministry office in Gaza. This is beautiful. This is a victory, and it's not the big victory, but it's a battle that's being won. And so we're gonna show you this. I want you to look at it, know that these are the people that you're supporting. I want to be able to say that House of Destiny has sent another big amount of money to the soldiers. That's what, you know, we're doing here. And so I know that it's a tough time of year. I know that Christmas is coming up, all these things. But again, I don't think there's anything as important to showing support to Israel right now. So we're going to end here. But I'm going to say
just a second before you want to end, I want to say about two things that brings light to my life right now. As we speak right now, we're recording on a Tuesday. Around the White House, in front of the Capitol, in Washington Mall, there are over 100,000 Jews, Christians, standing, singing in support of Israel and the righteous war of Israel, showing the world that you stand with Israel and stand by us. And this is a huge demonstration of power that really strengthens us, but also showing those people that maybe think back there in the United States government to back up on us. This is not the time. The other thing that I want to speak about, and maybe we're going to start and promote it from our next broadcast is that we're coming closer to next month to celebration of Hanukkah, the festival of light. And this is one of these huge festivals of lights of victory, where the Jews defeated a huge army, the few against the many, the huge armies of the biggest empire in the world at the time, which was the Greek Empire. And this is a huge time. And during this festival of light, we want to do something very unique and very special for our soldiers from our unit who died in this devastating attack. We lost 18 soldiers in one day. Today, as we speak, by the way, some of these soldiers that went into the Hamas's Ministry of Interior Affairs, into their headquarters, they went into the headquarters of the military police of the Hamas, and inside they found some materials, bags, equipment, and gear that were stolen from the soldiers that they killed in Nahal Oz on October 7th. They found their handbags and backpacks, some things with the names of some of the soldiers that died, and they found it right there now, and now they're recurring it, and they're going to bring it back to their families. That's another circle that is being closed over there. And for this day of Hanukkah, for the lighting of the candles, want to use your money, your support, to throw up a huge party of light and victory, where hopefully the wounded soldiers from our unit will be standing there on the stage and lighting the candles, and we're going to show it to you. And we're doing a special now. It's a huge fundraiser that we're doing now to help and support the families of the fallen soldiers. We want to give a big check to each family so they can restart some kind of a memorial process for their kids near their neighborhood or in their homes or in their schools, somewhere where these people would be remembered. We're doing this for them. We're giving them the kickstart, the head start, so they can start rolling this, so their children and their sacrifice will never be forgotten. And that's what we're going to use the money that we collect from here. The gear that we already provided and given, thank God, the Israeli army was able already to start regrouping, rearranging, reorganizing. We're pushing everything they need right now. We might need some winter gear, but I'll let you know about this. But now we have two huge targets: the memorial head starts for the families, the huge party for Hanukkah, the festival of victory, while Christians around the world will celebrate the birth of the Messiah of Jesus Christ. We will celebrate the victory of the light, darkness.
It's beautiful, Doobs. And so there's been a red link below your player. Click it, click Israel, give whatever you're able to. We want to be able to show you this, show you what it is that your support is doing. So thank you all. God bless you. And we'll see you guys on Saturday and then again next week. Goodbye.
Love you. Shalom. Thank you.
To all the partners of Israel, thank you very, very much. Thanks to your support, we're winning. Thank you very much. Am Israel Chai.
So we're Lochamim Fighters from Golani Bet. We just returned now from a memorial of an officer. It was a hard time, but we feel strong. We're ready to return to fight. After this, we're all going back to fight on the front lines. Knowing that you guys are here with us really helps us, and everything that you guys give and help will help us in the future, helps us fight, it gives us motivation, morale, and so forth. And we're here. We want everyone to know Am Yisrael Chai. We're here, we're living, we're fighting, we're winning as well, and we're doing good. מבצעית יש רק אחת.
קדימה, מבצעית יש רק אחת.
מבצעית יש רק אחת. עולה בית. מבצעית יש רק אחת. מבצעית יש רק אחת. עולה בית.
Let me tell you about AIDS. Do you want to hear from a sage about AIDS? I'll tell you about bloody AIDS. It is not from the Lord. The ear this unity thing there, it grows as you get older. Now, why does the ear grow when you get older? Tell me. I want you to tell me. Yes, you. I'll tell you why. Because you lose your hearing as you get older, and so your ears have got to be bigger so you can hear. And so they just grow and grow. And so it goes on. You look at this here, even the fact that your nostrils get bigger and the hair and all this stuff. You think that age is good? Then you want to go and spend your time in a loony bin, because nobody can tell me age is good. Nobody, not anybody in the universe can tell me age is right. So take these few little things from this old sage.
This week on Real Life, Real Faith, we are discussing the topic, what is balance? If this is something that you're curious about, we are curious right there with you. So make sure that you join us this week on Real Life, Real Faith. You can go to real-faith.tv and watch the new episode right now.
I'm excited to announce that we're bringing back our best offer ever on our original My Slippers. You save $90 a pair with your promo code. And now My Slippers come in even more sizes. Smaller sizes, larger sizes, wide sizes, and all new styles and colors. Get them for your friends, your family, your neighbors, everyone you know. What makes My Slippers different is my exclusive 4-layer design that you're not going to find in any other slippers. My Slippers' patented layers make them ultra comfortable, extremely durable, and they help relieve stress on your feet. I'm so confident that you and everyone you know are going to love My Slippers that I'm extending my 60-day money-back guarantee until March 1st, 2024, making them the best Christmas gifts ever. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen now. Use your promo code to save $90. That's only $49.98 a pair. Quantities won't last long, so please order now.
We here at the House of Destiny are partnering with you to let our viewers, of course, know about your company. It's Beverly Hills Precious Metal.
Andrew, explain how that works.
So I'll walk you through it right now. So if you go to bh-pm.com, right there on the homepage, you'll see a form that you could fill out. And that form is very important in letting us know how we can help you. So you just put in your first name, last name, email address, phone number. There's a section that says, how did you hear about us? And in there, put Kim Clement. And then there's a portion where you could write a couple of notes down on the bottom. Usually within about 24 to 48 hours, we'll contact you by phone call, and then we'll go over everything with you. This isn't a high pressure deal. We always recommend that if you feel uncomfortable, take a step back, pray about it. You will gain the answers that you need by doing that, and come back to us when you're comfortable.